I'm excited for this part because we are going to make the news again. I mean, last week, our guests that were here made the news, and yes, we'll be talking about that same issue again. So let me introduce our guests. There are no new faces on the show. I mean, right now I can say that they are part of us. They are regulars.
Yeah, family.
Yeah, so Sally Mann, who is an entertainment journalist, yeah, she's here. Yesterday she gave us fire, and today it's going to be Volcano, right? And also Emmanuel Sapon, he is with CTTV 30 Minutes Show. And yes, I'm excited to have you guys here because your submissions are always top notch. And yes, there's a lot to learn.
Oh, it's
from all
true.
the-
Their submission. And, I want to say something. When other blogging sites, other websites pick the story from here, please just cite that your source is from Metro TV Entertainment Review.
Exactly.
Don't write. I don't want to put one particular blog or
Name
website.
the show where you
Yes,
had
the
our
person
guests,
actually
right?
said that they picked the story, that outlet picked the story from a station they were monitoring. Mention the show.
You've been monitoring
Mention the
Entertainment
show.
Review.
They quoted
Mention
Olele.
it.
They quoted
Just
Saliman.
mention.
They were where? On Metro TV
What
Entertainment
blog is
Review.
that?
Oh, should I say it?
Mention it.
Ghana Web.
Ghana Web likes
Yes,
doing that. They'll
as
pick
the
your
conversation
story.
goes on, I'll read what they said.
Yes.
Yeah, they monitored it, but you can't quote that, on Entertainment Review.
I don't know why. They do
Saliman
mention
or
other
Olele
stations as
Salvador
well,
said.
but
Yeah,
They
they
are
do
really
mention, so
milking
how
us.
come?
Exactly.
They are trying to do that.
So just state
Ghana
it.
Web has been around for a very long time.
Eh.
They
They
should
know
They
better.
should know better.
Exactly.
better.
Yeah, I screenshot it. I'll read it.
Should know better.
Okay, so let's start with the first story that has been trending. I think it's still trending. The issue with Evangelist Dinah Samoa and her producer or manager, Frame Prince. And on 14th of September, Frame Prince brought out a statement saying that they are no longer working with Evangelist Dinah Samoa, and also saying that they've taken a hold of her social media handles and her music. She cannot perform them and all that. And a lot of people were not happy. I mean, we have a statement on the screen right now. A lot of people were not happy. He granted quite a few interviews, and later on came out to say that he wanted Evangelist Dinah Samoa to apologize. I mean, he served that termination of contract on the 4th of August, but she didn't say anything. But after 3 weeks, she came back to reply that, okay, she has accepted the termination of the contract. And a lot of people were also very angry at the fact that he had taken over her social media handles and the songs that she produced or sang during her time with Frame Prince. That brings me to Sally. We've had this conversation where we always say that investors should invest in teas and all that. But then again, it comes up that mostly it doesn't go well. Investors do not get their money's worth when they invest. And when you listen to Frame Prince, he says he wanted Evangelist Dinah Samoa to apologize. We don't know exactly why he wanted her to apologize, but instead of apologizing, she later on accepted the contract. Why should investors invest in artists, especially when at the long run they end up misbehaving or doing certain things that do not really make them happy, or they are not even able to get their money's worth?
I feel certain jurisdictions is working. It's only in Ghana that people tend to have these problems a lot. I'm not saying that elsewhere it does not happen, but it happens everywhere. But it's becoming rampant, and it's making artists or celebrities look like they are ingrate. But first of all, Dinah Samoa, I've heard her on so many occasions say that he's worked with this man for over 20 years, but there's no written contract.
Okay.
I've heard her like numerous occasions trying to let us know that you can work with people with a better understanding without even signing a contract. So if they don't have a contract, why is somebody terminating it? Is it the verbal or a gentleman's agreement contract?
Yeah, he mentioned that the verbal as well. Yeah, verbal.
No. That's why they are terminating. Listen, my issue with this gospel people is this. You cannot tell a person how a person should grow. So I think moving forward, if you're signing an artist, keep it at the back of your mind that how you see this artist now will evolve. Because I from what I picked, the challenge here is that I'm sure the man is not really liking the fact that this woman has evolved from no makeup to a makeup, to somebody who looks good, to somebody who knows how she should behave in public, to somebody who is taking advantage of the media space or the social media platforms that we have. That's where I'm seeing a problem. And also, I also heard the man say that when Dinah did the collaboration with
Dada
Dada
KD,
KD, he wasn't informed. And also the ABBA father, concert and all of that, he wasn't informed. And I also heard him say that Dinah can perform the songs.
Yes.
So, and also heard him say he was using that to threaten Dinah, and Dinah fancy a World Cup. But you can't, and he went on to say that moving forward, he would want to work with secular artists than even gospel musicians. So I think it's a bunch of things. Maybe they've been going back and forth on this thing for a very long time, and both parties have not found the middle ground. That's why we are where we are. But this is what I would say. Working with somebody for 22 years is not a joke. No matter what the situation is, I feel you guys should sit down and do this amicably. Because, yes, we need the news, but the way that this woman has said time and time again that you have a very beautiful working relationship, and to the point that there's no even contract, but you guys have been doing everything that you need to do. So please, gospel producers and people who invest in the gospel musicians. Now, Empress Adoye is not the same as the Gifty that we met some time back. People will grow. I think our mindset should be broadened enough to accept the growth when it comes at a point in our lives.
Emmanuel,
Yes, ma'am.
do you feel like this whole brouhaha with Frame Prince and Evangelist has created a dent in the image of Dinah Samoa?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it actually opens the conversation for our gospel music industry and the way they see music. Some see music as a ministry and they treat it as that. But if you want to be in the strong helm of fence in the industry, you need to see music as a business as well. Most of the gospel artists in the country, especially in Africa, think that, because I can sing and I have a couple of nice songs I can sing in church and people are following that anointing, it ends there. They don't really pay attention to some of these things we talk about here. We only think, issues of copyright infringement and ownership and whatnot just belongs to the secular artists. But if you were a serious artist and you want to take it as a business, you need to look at all these things. And that's why I'm happy she mentioned the Empress Gifty transition. We saw an Empress Gifty that came into the industry as just a gospel musician, but now she's become a brand that's, more or less a force to reckon with. She can find herself on certain stages as a gospel artist and still rock shoulders with the secular artist. So I don't think it puts any dent on any image for Dinah Samoa. I think it actually makes it very... it makes it a sympathetic situation because the first time I saw the post, I was like, okay, who signed the termination contract? Who read it on her behalf? No disrespect to Auntie Diana, but we know. I'm sure many of us know what we're talking about.
And also,
she's
it was
also
trending a lot.
capable to also hire a lawyer to
Exactly. Because some of the terms I saw in there, I was like, some of these
Yeah.
things don't make sense, especially with the whole social media ownership and stuff like that. This is her name. they put in there.
Exactly.
So-
And I think the same thing happened to Ishan.
Yes.
And it's like a new thing that, so if
Even
I'm no
Kiss
longer with
Daniel
you,
suffered the same
yes,
thing.
let me
Yeah.
take over your social.
Yeah.
But wait, is it part of the contract? Really,
So that's where the problem
No,
is.
Joyce Blessing also.
Just listen to it.
The same
Exactly.
thing.
So that's
Can
what the
you imagine?
conversation is like. Okay, fine. There was a verbal agreement.
Yeah.
But in that agreement, did you guys talk about the fact that your social media
How do you
handles
take
were
over
going
my
to be?
social
Do
media?
you understand?
You get what I'm saying?
It doesn't even make sense.
So
Because
that
Frame
bit
Prince is
very
not a
important.
woman.
Exactly. So that bit is why I think
Yeah.
there might be a loophole to, because you can't just take someone's, because the Facebook name is the Evangelist Dinah Samoa. It bears
Exactly.
her name. It's not. But I spoke to a lawyer, Fred, and he says it also depends on who manages their account.
Yes.
So if they check the back end and they realize that Frame Prince or anybody from Frame Prince has been the administrator of that account, then you can have a conversation. Okay, since the inception of this creation of the account, we've been managing all the posts and whatnot there. So we lay a claim. You have a moral right to lay a claim on it.
But you are no longer working with the artist. What are you going to do with that?
That's
or you
the
are
good-
going to change
so
the
they
name
could change,
and sell
they
it.
could
That's
change the
what
name
they
and
do.
sell
With
it.
the
That's-
numbers.
because that account is almost close to 1 million followers.
Yes.
That's a lot.
And I'm
of
sure the
currency.
public will know that, okay, it's no longer for Evangelist Dana Samoa. So when you post something, we are not going to engage.
Some might
Engaging,
decide
yes.
maybe don't follow
Yes.
the page.
So you might
A
as
lot
well
of
just
people-
change
Yes.
the name of it. But at the end of the day, like Sally rightfully said, I think they should come to an amicable place.
Okay.
It's not a place
Okay.
where
Let's move on to the next topic. Why are you rolling your eyes, Sally?
Oh, did I?
Anyway, so last week we spoke about the Ashaman to the world, Ashaman to the Riase concert. And Sally made certain comments about the fact that Stonebwoy didn't come out to, say anything about those that were robbed and injured and all that. And then flew to Nigeria to promote his song, Gidiba. And on that note, Stonebwoy was asked about that same statement by Saliman. And he came out to say a lot. Before we seek their submissions, let's take a look at the said interview.
So before you came to Nigeria, you had your concert.
Assignment.
Yeah, and it was
Crazy.
amazing. It was everywhere. It was packed.
Crazy.
But a few hours ago, there was this Ghanaian media personality who was saying that you left the country to promote your music, but some of your fans got injured at the concert. And she was calling you out, comparing you to Shatta Wale and all of that. What do you have to say about that?
See, yeah, I want to use the word it's normal, first and foremost, because surely people must talk about us.
Of course.
And we are grateful to be in the news.
Yeah.
But most often, not for the right reasons, because that's not our doing. You know, we understand that media has to curate some following and attract some eyes. So, you know, sometimes they try to say it in different ways. It's all out of love. The reality is that Ashaiman to the world is like Surulere to the world, Wari to the world, because I come from the hood. She knows it. She's been there. I've been putting up this festival for them for 9 years, running, 7 years active because of COVID. And it is, you can't argue, it's the biggest outdoor event by an artist for his community as a charity stuff.
Wow.
That's massive.
People trooping like you get 40 to 50,000 plus. I'm not even kidding. It's Jano.
Massive
So
number.
the last time we held it was last week Saturday. It was a peaceful event till the end of it because you see, like this brings a lot of people. So there are realistically there are people with bad ideas. You know what I mean? There are definitely wherever you go, especially in the slums where the system has turned us into different things. You know what I mean? We're looking out to make sure that we can pick up some.
So before you came to Nigeria, you had your concert.
Okay, so that was the interview. Now, he tweeted this said interview on Twitter, and I'm not good with patois. He says, "Nafa them a snake under grass, them be full bad mind, but we do like say we never know." Like, so indirectly, like,
I love it. I love it.
In the lyrics,
but wait, why would you tweet that said video with that lyrics? You're trying to say something.
Right.
He's promoting the
So
song.
yes. Oh, in fact, I'll start with Sally. I'll start with you, Emmanuel. Yeah, I love
strong, yeah,
I
strong
love
fan.
Gidiba,
Yeah.
but no,
It did form.
it did form. Emmanuel, you are a Stonebwoy fan. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Be straight, oh. Because I dey watch you.
Listen, I'm going to say this without fear and favor. I want to applaud Stonebwoy for intelligently answering the question and trying to save face, even though he threw a few jabs at the media. And that's because, by all means, you would have to come out and talk about it. The pressure would definitely get to them, and they would have to speak up on it. So in a way, he's spoken about it, and I think we will take it as one of those things as PR gimmicks or PR work. I'm not too sure about the fact where he says the media chose to focus on certain things to I mean, we talked about Ashaman to the world. I think I even came in to talk about
Yes.
the excitement ahead of Ashaman to the world. And he even said the same thing we said, where he said he was throwing spotlights on the town.
Yeah.
You know, to remind people that, listen, once upon a time, anybody could come out of Ashaman and will not be seen in that positive light. But thanks to some of us, you can still look back at Shaman and then but I don't really agree with Stonebwoy on that. I think it's a stab in the back to the media, because they have helped you project
Promote it and all
Ashaman to the
that,
world for the last few years. So I don't think the media will wake up and want to focus on negativity. We woke up to a police press release, and that is what started the conversation, Stonebwoy. So I don't know why he went through that particular route. I think he would have just said, you know what, yes, we do these shows every year, and some bad-minded people like to do these things to mar the show, and for that we take full responsibility and make sure next time we will do better. Case closed.
Simple and tight.
But it looks like time and time again, and I'm saying this from very start, because time and time again, he seems to be creating some kind of friction between himself and the media.
Yes.
And it will get to a point where the media will move on
Yeah.
and wouldn't want to give you that audience, and we'll come back and have that same conversation.
Yes.
So for that bit, I don't agree, but I think he did well with trying to, answer to the questions we asked last week.
Sally.
Metro TV, you do this, or this one you do it. Because I have never responded to anything that I've said that anybody have or a person has done a rebuttal, and I have to come back to it again. When I say whatever, I leave it. Whatever opinion that you have of it is your own cup of tea. But first and foremost, I would like to say to Stonebwoy that I don't need no following, because I'm not on social media. So everything that I said is to his benefit. He's enjoying more. He went to Nigeria and he's been asked why I said that. And he had the opportunity to say whatever that he wanted to say. So I wouldn't. Let me leave that.
You wouldn't spend much time.
No.
on that.
Let me leave that. And this is what I will say. These artists are so fickle-minded, and I'm choosing my words carefully. Fickle-minded to the extent that the way that they feel entitled, that our parents have sent us to school to be journalists, and they don't want us to uphold the truth. The truth is two. It can be positive and it can be negative. So they always want us to take the positive route, to promote them. Then we are setting them for what? For failure. Because you need to be told the hard truth sometimes too.
Yeah.
And that's something that each and every artist in Ghana finds it so difficult
To take in.
to take in. And I think it stems from the fact that, you see, when they are coming into the industry, everything that, they used in their first videos, everything is fake. From the cars that they sit in,
True.
from the attires that they wear,
It's
from
true.
the jewelry to everything is fake. So we have made them believe that kind of life, and they feel entitled. But there's a point that unrealistic approach should stop. Reality sets in, because at this time you can buy the car, you can buy the jewelry. So you need to be toughened enough to accept some of the things that we made you a certain type of way. Because Stonebwoy has never done anything for me, but I have done millions of things for him, not to put money in his pocket. I have praised him. I have placed a spotlight on him so many times, and that's something. That is something. I'm not entitled, or you are not entitled to me being positive about you all the time.
Yeah.
That entitlement must stop.
True.
Because these Nigerians, if they want to feel a certain entitlement, they pay. You don't pay nobody. So you don't expect that always, even if I've seen that whatever that you are saying is wrong, or what you are doing is wrong, you want me to just pat your back and say that, oh, you've done well for killing 2 people. You've done well for getting armed robbers and hoodlums there to remove women's wig. Do you understand? So please, nobody should come at me.
Yeah.
I went to school solely because my parents paid. And I have the right to uphold the standard of journalism. And that is to tell you the truth when the need be. So it can be positive
It
or
can be
negative.
But I think, some of these artists, it's high time they accept it when they are being criticized, when they do the wrong thing or when they do the right thing and then people talk about it, they have no issues. They are happy about it. They don't even come out to applaud,
They don't even come out to applaud, though. They don't.
They don't.
They don't come out to applaud Pandy that, okay, you've said it about me, I really appreciate it or anything. But anytime they are being criticized for the wrong thing, then it's as if they are not happy with it. But that shouldn't be the case. Because if you are not corrected, at the end of the day, it's going to go against you because you might be thinking that, I'm doing the right thing, and then nobody is correcting you. Before you know, you fall in the pit. Yeah. So it's high time
I think it's a Ghanaian thing. I mean, when you do something bad and they criticize you, you're a hater. Oh, you don't like me.
Yes, they put you in a...
You're jealous of my success. Oh,
Nobody really likes to hear that.
Yes, it's true. But you see, some artists are way big in a way that they understand the business. An artist like Stonebwoy has a PR. And even if after the show, after the aftermath of the show, you hear things, be it negative or positive. Some people choose to respond to certain things. Stonebwoy is an artist. I would say it any day, anytime. I'm a Stonebwoy fan. But I always have an issue with Stonebwoy with the media. Every time, like what Olele said, there's this distance between Stonebwoy and the media. He has said it countless times that the media doesn't really support. They didn't do it. You see, I feel Stonebwoy is so big from where he has come. He has come from a very long way. And he has a PR where they understand this business. We sit down and we know how to manage whatever is being posted out. I don't think the Ghana Police Service will just get up and bring a report. You see, they brought a report per what happened. And it is up to you, the artists, and your management team to just sit down, know how things will go, and just let the story go. I mean, Stonebwoy can call any of the media house and say that I want to have an interview and tell my side and respond to these things. It doesn't,
especially after, not to catch, but especially after KKD.
Exactly. Yes. So you see, sometimes the artists should make the work easier for the media, so that people wouldn't take it from different angles.
And Nana, this is what they always do. You see, when there's something negative about you, they are always willing to pick and choose when to talk.
yes.
So if you pick and choose when to talk, I will take the narrative that I want to take. And it's entirely on you.
Yeah.
Whether it tarnish an image, whether it lifts you, whether it doesn't, I do not care because the media has given you the chance to be able to speak
I think
on
all
your
of
issues.
I mean, like...
Someone can just call you and say...
Exactly.
Like, I want to
respond
talk
to this.
About it.
And
or meet me.
And you wouldn't say no.
Yes.
You wouldn't say no.
Somebody will
Of
ever
course
say
not.
no to Stonebwoy.
I mean, the timing, like you said, is very
No,
important.
somebody can say no to Stonebwoy.
Oh, some people can say, but per the timing.
This conversation is really, really bent on the timing.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, after Ashaman to the world, we woke up to the news from the police that 42 people had been arrested.
Yeah.
I will think that anybody in a team, and it comes back to not just Stonebwoy, but the people around him.
Yeah.
That Stonebwoy may be tired, he may be focused on other things. So people around him should draw his attention. Oh, Bosu, I think we need to respond to this.
Yeah.
You're making me laugh in alphabetical. No.
You know,
Charlie. Olele is making a response.
Which people?
The
errand boys.
No, not the errand boys.
You can't talk to him.
No, it's not the errand boys.
You see,
You see, there's someone huge who is above the errand boys.
Exactly.
So it doesn't
Who
take
is
anything
that?
to...
Who is that?
There's someone there.
His wife?
There's someone
his
there.
wife?
There should be someone.
Even if it's the wife, there's nothing
There should be
wrong
someone
with it.
because
Yes.
you see, if, for example, Stonebwoy maybe is on his itinerary to go to Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
We don't really necessarily need Stonebwoy to come and say this and that. You can find an authority close
Yeah.
to Stonebwoy and say, on behalf of Beam Nation or whatever, we've seen what the police have done. We applaud the police, and we also want to put a statement out there that next time we'll ensure that so is done to protect the people who come to Ashaman to the world. Simple as it.
And like
and
you said,
nobody, and this
there'll be a
conversation has been
next
different.
time. There will be a next time.
You know,
But
this
you see,
conversation has been different.
what Olele is saying is something that we have been made to believe. My dear, look at me as I speak to you.
Come on.
These celebrities, they don't have people that can advise them first and foremost. Because look, everybody that started with them, go through our artists that we have. People that saw them grow, they are no longer with them. And those were the people that could even come out and say to them in their face when they are wrong. When this new crop of people come to them, it's yes, sir, massa. Hello, sir. good morning, sir. What you say is what goes.
Then we have a big problem.
Then we have a big
That's how we
problem.
have a big
Yes.
problem.
That's why I don't want to believe. I don't
I
want
also
to
don't want to
believe
believe
that
that that's the case.
there's nobody at Beam Nation who cannot call Stonebwoy
They say,
to
"Yo, Stone,
order.
Charlie."
I'm also letting you know there's a nobody.
Hey,
So even
then this is
I
serious.
am glad the media, we the
Then
media,
it's
we are having this
serious.
conversation.
Then it's
That brings
really
us to the
serious.
next topic, where Sarkodie says that I mean, if you
Another
not-
one.
I mean, you've been in the industry for 20 years and you've not really moved up in your career. I mean, with the media, you've not really moved up in your career. You do not have the moral right to criticize, I mean, artists for not moving up and mounting bigger platforms and going international, because you yourself, you haven't gone international. So I wonder if you have...
Did you just say that? You said that?
Yes.
It came from me.
Like, yeah, he was trying to say that. We have the video. I hope I hope we have the video. Then we can play it so that you know that I'm not the one saying it. That is...
That's
Asha one was the
If neither money do show, not the mind to spend every penny we in a bank account just to make the show happen. You can't fight such a person when you look for profit. For real. To me. True. So if the comparison may be somebody in finished product, then start from somewhere. Then people come, the flavor type of sound come, which we are doing it. Yeah. Where it grew, come have this new club. One time I said this type of songs they play right now, they just West Kids and sound change.
For real.
It is because consistency has met him.
For real. Even Burna Boy.
Exactly. You get it. So if we are consistent, you go fit have alternative we will come. You go fit have boys. We get Ghana boys in the year where they get swag. I go Dover Street. They buy something for them. I see some boys. Charlie, the way they drip. I said talk to him. I say hey.
Ghana Boy now watch which is
I will show you them. Page. No, I will show you them. Page. Bad look, Charlie. The jacket the boy flip in here, and I'm say, oh, so somebody like this. But you know why? Because in country no be strong. The all you need is cocoa. But the same person, when I no be here down there in the church, they no be Yankee or They we didn't be Yankee. So in confidence come from there. We then get to now I didn't confidence.
Whiskey vibes. Whiskey
Exactly. But most of them, Naira Marley.
London.
What's I say? We are also boys day here with the Ghana boys. We just our country has to be strong for them to sit on that weight. But at this point we know those boys with the now really claim Nigeria. Before Nigeria would tone up, then I'm claim you.
For real.
No be in the corner, but as Nigeria for no mad and sorry, now even American rapper will go out to say he be Nigerian. So until we go build on ourselves to that point, that complaint, and it be easy for somebody to sit on radio and don't say Shatawale no do this, Sarkodie no do this. I'm not saying we don't have we the artists we have things we do still. Because every time there's like a step. But if you did radio for Ghana for close to 20 years, where if you come enter Choice for Here or BBC, I don't think you have the moral right to talk about artists where they Ghana where no move. Because me I go BBC because come out the more we make I go.
Right.
Okay, so in that video, he also mentioned that Komla Duma was the one who took him to BBC. He also mentioned another media person as well. And so indirectly, if you are in the media space and you don't have plugs, you cannot really put plugs for these artists to be somewhere. You shouldn't criticize them at all. But before we get submission from our guests, let's go for our commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll end with this one. Yeah. Okay, so welcome back from that very short commercial break. Let me start with Sally. I mean, Sarkodie says that if you've not really moved up, you shouldn't have the moral right to criticize him.
The moved up in this situation, I don't understand. Okay, I think his analogy is flawed from even the start of it. And I want to give him a little education. We have prominent journalists in the world, and I'm going to mention two. Amampo and Anderson Cooper. When you check these, journalists. They are with CNN, having their own shows. But there's no way that you can compare them to Beyonce or Jay-Z in terms of popularity. So every field or every profession, it has the limit to which the popularity of that person can go. Every journalist cannot go and work at BBC because in every jurisdiction, you need journalists there. But the most important thing is that those journalists are upholding the principles of journalism. You see, it's so funny how when these artists go out there and they sit on certain platform, they tend to forget. Don't we sit here in Ghana all the time, chastising the BBC that he mentioned, that they always project Africa as a place for monkeys, a place for hunger, a place for HIV, a place for all of this. Is it good news or bad news? It's bad news. We were here when Amanpo came to Ghana, interviewed Fisher Folks, and added our beautiful Moisha Budon as the icing on the cake by asking that how do you fend for yourself? And they say that if you, every single person, girl in Ghana must date a married man before you can afford a certain lifestyle. Yeah. Is it positive or negative? It's negative. So media in general can project what is good and what is bad. So if we see that your space, the kind of career that you have, you can occupy the highest space in the world. And some of us that care are telling you that do what your other contemporaries are doing, the Nigerians, so that you can make enough money for yourself, for your family. And then you sit and say that if a journalist has not gone to BBC, because to you, BBC is the standard. But the same standard that we use here in Ghana, that's the same standard that BBC uses. And Africa is termed as a monkey place where we live on trees, where we eat banana all the time. So it's sad. And listen, the same thing that they keep poking us that we do, that's the same thing that they also do. You had a brilliant opportunity to sit on a platform. What did you do to your own country? You brought your own country down and you expect your own countrymen to uplift you. There's no way because it's hand come.
Emmanuel, we have just about 2 minutes to wrap up the show.
Okay, so I'm going to split this in 3 parts. The first part is I watched the full interview and the context in which that example was made, even though I think it's a wrong example, was where Sarko was talking about the ecosystem, where we need to do more. I get it. Yeah, we are all trying. I mean, everybody is trying to do their best in whatever field they find themselves in. I believe Sarko understands that each profession has its own timeline and its journey. Exactly. You know, as an artist, there are some aspirations you have for yourself that you want to achieve. As media personalities, there are certain things we have up our sleeves that we are looking for to achieve. I think it's also automatic that when you get to the apex of your journey, you would want to bring a few of your brothers along. So if in the future, by the grace of God, I get to work with Capital One Extra, and I think, I can host Sarko to an interview, why not? So it's automatic. But the truth is, there are some Ghanaians in the UK doing great things with the BBC and the likes. The question is, why haven't we had Ghanaians go there? Rather go to Team Westwood. What's the problem? And that's the truth. You can go check. There are Ghanaian DJs running drive shows on BBC. Because the truth is, when our artists go abroad, they take pictures. They are more interested in looking good and the sceneries and the atmosphere. You get me? And we come back and we complain that our media people are not doing enough. I think it's a disservice to us, if you ask me. But if you talk about the ecosystem, granted, yes, we are all doing what we have to do to push each other forward. He talked about the Nigerians. The Nigerians are all over the world. They are occupying all sort of positions all over the world. They are executives all over the world. Empire Africa is headed by a Nigerian. What do you call it? So many, I can't even think of because of time and so on and so forth. Stonebwoy. Def Jam signed Stonebwoy because 2 Ghanaians are presidents of Def Jam in the UK. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not rocket science. It's everybody and its journey. But you can't use that. You can't even compare the two. But I get. So the argument I saw on the internet was, because we come and we blast them and we bash them, they are also returning the favor.
But we do promote them as well.
Me,
a lot.
If you ask me, it's okay. We'll continue. so far as it puts us on our toes and we
Yes.
strive to do better,
Yes.
I love it.
But then I think
Nana?
it's high time they should stop comparing.
Yeah,
Nana, I want to hear what you.
we need to, say it.
Honestly, I went to CIJ.
Of course.
And as a journalist,
And you're doing just that.
in the course of that, I am allowed to read. As a journalist, I am to inform, educate, and entertain. In the course of that, I'm allowed to also criticize,
That's right.
analyze certain things that are placed in the media space. If I'm not allowed to criticize, analyze, then I don't think I'm supposed to promote any artist on any level.
Absolutely.
You give me, I give you. So that's all that I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, unfortunately, this is where we bring an end to the show. Nana, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much for having us from Monday through to Friday. Really, really appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning in every day. The weekend is here. Have fun. But then remember to stay safe. My name is Anaya Tano Abuache. I did this with Helen Anyeweja, Harriet, and our guest Olele, and also Sally Man. Enjoy the rest of our programs.